The door is closed. Still.
Yes? What do you want to know? Good.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. It's not strange, it's inconvenient. Who told you that? Fine, yeah. It looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't... If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know, so I can forward them. Yes?
Oh, hello, dear.
You look like shit. And I don't mean that as a metaphor. Oh, don't be so modest. We're looking at several months' worth of damage here. Kind of a...
Oh, come on, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough week on him.
It's not just this week. What you want?
There's something about this guy that matches with a face in your... He might be wearing a disguise.
Yes, it's a hobby of mine.
As if waiting for some kind of reaction or response. Something to click.
I'm not getting involved.
It's not my style, he thinks, glancing at the man in sunglasses and the woman beside him. Oh boy, they're mad at him. No wonder. You know what it is.
Oh, I definitely know you from...
Another life.
Yes, from another life. A different life. To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality? Okay, that's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're really somewhere good. Okay. Oh, no. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crimes. And let me tell...
This isn't helping.
Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? I'm sure he's fucking flattered. But Kim is not...
The lieutenant is silent.
No, because in this thought experiment, we are police officers.
Come on, stop it.
You're not going to believe this, but yes, sir. Solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and get this, and not getting that. Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniform. Oh, it's you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, not even a little bit.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth.
He's trying to protect you from further rough handling. Okay, yes, you get the joke.
Neither can I, partner. Neither can I.
It's a mere second, but it feels like you saw something. A gram of compassion.
Watch out for yourself, Luke.
That voice, so very familiar. Did you hear it when calling to your station?
Oh, really? I wonder where. That's the where you remember me from? Okay, then. It's probably a coincidence.
Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird. Right? There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. Yes, just cross it off. The woman in an...
I would really prefer not to...
A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM. Below lieutenant and sergeant.
I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you? either. Okay, fine. Let's talk.
What does one talk about with a fellow officer?
What precinct?
Am I from? God, he doesn't know.
Fucking deranged lunatic.
You're getting an intellectually unsatisfying vibe from this conversation. Maybe you're doing something wrong.
God damn it, you leave her alone. Keep your weird bullshit to yourself.
Can I actually help you with something?
Yes, of course. Preposterous. I mean, you would remember if they were, right?
Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask? The sooner you figure this hanging out, the sooner everyone can go home. I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything, Judith.
I'm just looking out.
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses. And you are?
Yes, a policewoman who just wants to do...
Again? I can't believe this shit. I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say? Okay.
Jean.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of that kind. Not a cop. Go on with your cop work. Don't let me stop you again. The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence. The mention of mañana gets his attention. He smiles. They're friends. The man says a couple of sentences in that I'm pretty sure he asked. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
Boss need more vodka?
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good...
Of course, vodka. Now that turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg. The cook gives you a long, disappointed look, then turns the stove off and you see droplets of rain fall on the white on blue. Do something important? Something murder-related? This is a Caprice Canema, the Caprice Motor Corp's follow-up with its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine. Driving the high center of balance is offset by a large battery bank mounted at the bottom of the cabin. Even at a standstill, the unibody Caprice Canema, someone has waxed it recently.
You want to take a closer look? 130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there.
7.2. Supercharged.
Saying these words brings him immense joy.
Yes. An extraordinary machine.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot.
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. I need to lay some wiring for the ballast first. Maybe. Yes, definitely maybe.
And means no. Inside, You see a set of steering levers, a radio mic.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Sorry, sir. I still haven't heard back from the database people. Try calling again later. Is there anything else I can do for you? 57.
In the cabin, you see... Before the cargo container.
Mr. Dubois, every worker... And for his fellow man. That's right, Mr. Dubois. You're turning out to be quite the individualist there. So, you had business with me? I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble...
He's trying to figure out if you're lying. There is no way to sway this man in any direction. He is unsuggestible and unswayable.
Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissing...
He was testing you, and you succeed.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best. Helping people. With a power...
Yes, yes. Do you think the...
Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your...
Oddly, it seems to be true.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't... But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right? Of course, Harry. Stoic silence. I like that. Very befitting a police officer. I'm not a real detective. You are. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship? I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramoritsa, you name it, they've done it. Rape, everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my... But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal mine. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly.
That sounds a bit like organized.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't...
Again, that sounds like...
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid...
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in.
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway.
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in... These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gate.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. Absolutely, Harry. Absolutely. Sock it to me. Oh, they are simply fine young men. All 7 of them. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself.
Interesting. Who's second?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you.
He's betting on them being useless to you.
But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right.
You can now go and tell Titus about this.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there... Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal. Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you... I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. Yes, Harry, it's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to...
A man of the left? So you have to be a social democrat? He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it? Or do you think it wants to be found?
And what would isn't?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta. I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2.
It depends. I don't think what we just got from...
But, he thinks, it's
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez. And maybe even help...
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're called.
You're already pretty deep into this. What's a little more? No one can see you here in Martinez.
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right?
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Am I? Harry, these people... Martinez is the most important thing in my life. We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up, and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for the...
He means it.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I heard there was some trouble with the water lock, but it should be fixed now. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. What? Did I? Well done then, Harry. I like not knowing about it, and I'm sure you... I don't even want to know what all of that means. Brew, shady, alcohol, turned off...
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum.
I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything.
How else are you going to build something? It's always inconvenient to build things. And citizens in the youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. It's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings. This is either an ominous or cool. My money is on cool. Looks like a cubic pyrite. There is no loophole. The simple truth is the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door. Once the construction starts, it'll probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap.
I should have seen it. Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone. However, we'll need access to the coast before we do anything. Evrard won't believe you got villager signatures if you can't even get to the village. You can try a forgery as soon as we can cross the water.
Yes, sir. I need no trouble at all.
A rusting control panel. You grab the handle and pull the lever. The water lock starts moving.
All right, we can go to the coast now. Expect rugged terrain and drunks. And
a banged-up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking. It must be cold and low. The seawater has already... Remember the tire tracks in Martinez?
it appears to be so. I agree. We should definitely investigate.
You get a sudden sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look. Why the doom and gloom? It's just a sunken motor carriage. Some motor carriages are bound to end. The logo is too deep in the murky water. You can't make it out. But you do see the motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. A single day in the salty seawater would ruin most vehicles. But this one looks worn even in...
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess...
The estimate is correct. The incident probably occurred on Sunday. Your mocking tone finds no response, but the motion of the waves.
Yes, quite. Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
Great idea. Then we can get the things inside. The Joyrider must have left something good inside. Gun, a Joyrider jacket. You feel a strange connection to this Joyrider. Maybe.
I don't know. An hour or two, tops?
As you sit down in the old rusty the hinges creak under your weight. Dangerously so. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing.
Yes, it does. Let me think about it.
The tune on your lips forms a strange. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance. Then, still looking straight ahead, he joins you with a higher pitched and slightly more. Two birds on a wire, whistling by the clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
I believe it's following a pattern set millions of years ago by cosmic forces. But I suppose it could move quicker, yes?
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
Luckily, I am already a member of an independent organization, and therefore do not have to choose between a rock and a hard place.
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for?
It's as if he knows what it stands for, but wants you to say it. Does he know something about that speed racer?
I'm sorry, Harry. I'm so sorry.
41. Precinct 41. And no. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
Yes, your car is in the sea. Face it, so we can start dealing with this. I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you started in front of the whirling, jumped over the canal, and then drove your vehicle in the sea right here. Of whom? I don't think so. If anything, you were probably detective. We don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point. I'm afraid it will have to be there like that for many years. Look at it. Parts of it might be. That is very unlikely. You'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. In a few months, there will be nothing but, well, not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this. Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to...
This was 20% of the station's vehicular budget.
Well, it isn't. It's you. I'm very sorry. People are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly.
The lieutenant adjusts. There is also a fourth thing more precious than the gun, the badge, and the motor carriage combined.
You can still whistle. Besides, the night is always darkest before the dawn. Yes, let's go take a...
Police badge on which you see the photo of a man.
At least something good came out of all this.
Encased between 2 durable plastic sheets, you see a photo, a name, a rank, a document. The man keeps winking at you with his green-gray eyes, but the badge is new. You used an old photo for a new badge. Good choice. A newer photo would 8, maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good-looking. He's got an... What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression. Although the badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light.
Harrier. That's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Everard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him your Harry Dubois didn't. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
He's not going to call you Harrier. He'll keep calling you officer when the badge in your hands shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see,
Lieutenant W. Freighter. The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant. The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's décomptage might be taken. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank.
heavy-duty case-solving machine.
Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol citizens.
The countdown is modeled after the dual leadership system employed by the left during the revolution, which...
The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, then kings like satellite officers, and the additional freighter rank I already...
The long and short of it is, you're his superior.
No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you are doing good police work. It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea.
He trusts you, for now. Try not to spoil it.
Yes, apparently you've had a rather successful career in the past, and this leads me to believe maybe your current situation is only temporary. Good.
Such a small yet precious thing. Expensive paper caught between thick plastic, like a fly in amber. It reads...
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41.
The numbers are not there for good measure. They have an administrative purpose. One that's unfortunately...
4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted. A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been...
You're pretty sure you weren't doing well. But a lot can happen in 4 months. Especially in winter.
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41. Like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial. It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money...
It's no wonder you are like you are, he thinks.
But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like...
Roberts, Feuerbach, Dimitri. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it. The note is written. Great news. The boat is big enough for a grown man like you to fit underneath it in a supine position. Huh?
Sarcastic self-pity is not what... I understand the situation.
You have a home somewhere. Or... The worn and beaten wooden planks of the...
We can sit on benches after.
Hi, officer. Anything I can help you with? The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions.
Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly. It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing. From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life, that goes for men too. But they put on an act for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them. Like anyone falls for that. No one wants to talk about how frightened they are. But only frightened people are really dangerous. Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying. Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Gone. To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles. Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a... She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring it. I sell the fish to people in the Delta to serve at their fancy restaurants. Authentic. Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea is.
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're... This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now.
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see dead bodies. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most...
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
And go where? The fish are plentiful here and we get enough orders to get by. It's not great, but it's something. People imagine picking up and finding something better is an easy solution. But how is that supposed to—
Hordes of wild, homeless people roaming the lands. Nomads scattered across an end.
I don't mean to complain about my pauper life. We are warm and fed here and— I don't know. There's just something about this shithole. Sure is. The sun, I call her, coated with a fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue. Let's see. Who are you looking for? I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate? Aha! Like snowmen. Two odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen in the— I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
You're not sure about the melody, but it might.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts. Oh, welcome, police officer.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen. Maybe they are afraid because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here. And I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage. And not a lot of houses. Or a lot of people. Ah, look at me ramble on. Stay? Most people— That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack. I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM. Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here.
He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room.
Just us. It's barely a village anymore. This is pretty much a non-place. A gap.
The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny.
Over there, you can find more of the same. An old military hospital and its surroundings. After the war, it was turned into a good— Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless. The goodwill ran out. The staff left and the place was shut down. The lack of wealth is the one—
Riddles. Fits with the general ambiance here.
Aye. Sometimes it's as though I'm also gotten lost inside this nameless nothing. Oh, it seems to be a common theme these days. Isn't that what people always think when they are lost? Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks living, and then there's the drunks. Not a pretty— Lillian is tough. Tougher than the men here, at least. If it were sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. Here, for you, no officer. The only money we have here is
Under carts, boats, in little boxes. She nods, rinsing another piece of...
not much. Where's the abandoned church? Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go?
So,
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
Well, there's that music. Music from across. And now, suspicious-looking people.
Interesting. You could look into this ruckus.
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins. I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to... Of note, the old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's... no one. That's why it's closed. It was once a bustling place. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere. What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want, used to be a supply depot, we think, and now you know everything there. Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother, now it's your turn, Mr. Quite a handle you got there. So many titles. One of
The door has seen better days.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy. After we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the whirling in rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack.
The key turns with a satisfying... On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin. The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair On the table, you see a bowl of water. Like an artist with a brush or a master swordsman, the sharp blade chafes against your skin, producing a scratching sound. The surface underneath the beard feels tender. They feel so smooth, surprisingly so. A feeling of freshness overcomes you. The water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven face. You almost look like a professional. The beardless nature of your cheeks makes the expression seem even more like a terrifying grimace. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it. The expression fixed to your clean-shaven face. You're still not accustomed to it. An old mirror hangs on the wall. It's too late. An old mirror hangs on the wall. It's like something snaps in you. A nerve ending. Just like that, it's over. The running gag that your life had become. A set.
Yes? Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps, I'm not really sure about this turn of events. I think either way, good on you.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap.
Yes?
mister?
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it.
Yes, I am. Little Lily. That's nice. My mum is great. She's never angry or anything. It's a grouse.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you make up for the skua you broke.
I don't know. Sure. I mean, you already took it. I don't like it anyway. It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of. Like...
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Yes. Lammy has lived a long life. Lammy was a... No! That's not it!
I think she means revolution.
Yes! Lammy was a revolutionary. Bye!
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone. This one doesn't say anything.
Lily's our mum.
The stone kicker laughs suddenly. The other one laughs. Wow, so intellectually stimulating.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't look like he knows what that means. The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden.
He looks just like me.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws.
You're bad with kids. Don't worry, everyone is. How about we do some police work now? We're not getting anything here.
Drop in temperature, an easy flow there. An empty street. Before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with lorries, chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten. The road is smooth and motley. Craters filled with a tub warm with water. White. His boyfriend is on his way home. He brings tins of meat and vegetables with him. Number 312D. Young girls used to. Craters pocked the surface. Children played in. There's one bump on the road. A dead dog lies flat about to. Tragedy comes from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle. Hurry. The wind moves the aerosol. A detective.
Tequila! Good to see you. How's business? So what's happening? Yeah, Tequila Sunset.
He says it like it's obviously your name. Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
It's good to hear that you're on top of things. Talking about used to, did you know that sadly, things aren't going that well in Idiot Doom Spiral Land?
This guy's your buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to an organization, a fraternity of...
We are saving the world. Please don't call. Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking. So now, it's a pirate's life for me. It's you. We've met before.
No, you sure don't.
Aha.
Tequila. Tequila Sunset. something ominous.
You think you feel bad now. Wait till you've heard.
No, you need...
Let me take a sip to moisten up my cords. Tequila Sunset rolled into... Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the bug. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up.
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually.
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting... One moment we hear the sound of a motor...
Do you remember this?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. Anyway, there was a brief silence. A gasp of silence. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up... The time hath come! So, naturally, being the curious cat... The time hath come for Tequila Sunset! The end of all things! Your reality contracted. You jammed the... We ran towards the ice, whilst you crawled your way out. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform... Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condol. We asked about the whole Tequila Sunset thing, and you told us it was your name. No, that's just what your mother called you. Ours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen.
Wow. That's...
Yeah. I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the...
If you only knew.
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying...
Please, don't open that door.
No one's fucked me. I do the...
Abigail! It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd... Beside your gun and your badge... In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too. You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was...
It's more like you were cramping.
No specifics, though. Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach...
It's not meant as a joke. He's sorry for the hermit cop.
Yeah, you kept talking about how the coal mine owners were fucking... I didn't agree with you, by the way. The spectral hand of the market You kept apologizing for being such a bad cop. And for the... You also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against... It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs. Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right. Why not? It depends, really. Are you willing to help me?
You might get scammed here.
No, the reality of the situation... Booze! Did you already forget our party? So, have you got anything for good old idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Classy.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Don't call... Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something... I was once a reasonably high net worth individual. A founder/junior partner. I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called... I developed the paradigm. Worked 22 full-time employees. An all-star team. A potentially It did. With my trusty But now dreams are worn thin. One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your...
His eyes are clouded. His eyes are...
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. Wet, okay? It was raining really... I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass. Reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, I rang my neighbor's buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie.
Heavy is the head.
Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the... Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years. So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh? Me neither, Tequila. When I lost my keys, I lost more than access to my apartment. You can't imagine what that does to a man's confidence. Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies, and now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week,
You of all people should empathize with this. Perhaps this lost jacket is something you could help with?
My agency, man. The Boom Boom Room. I convinced my partners to reinvest. I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who would...
If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
I know. It was What? You've never seen 100% pretty nice, huh? This might be one of the last...
Good God. It's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing two jellyfish skins together. Randomized trials have also found lycra, TM, to be associated with a number of exotic... And then there's the smell.
Wow, you're lucky.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them anytime. My fellow members...
Hey, Tequila!
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary.
I thought he was a cool cop.
Don't call up.
And this is Abs. So yeah, that's basically us. We drink together. Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically... Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom spiral out. So, yeah, exactly. You're here to serve. If I knew where I lost it, don't you think I'd have it? Somewhere north of here, that's for sure. You could ask. I'm all ears, Tequila. I do. But as you can see, my fuel tank is... Then I can't keep on telling the story. You too.
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy? So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. I also have...
Hi. By amphetamine, I mean speed.
Sure did, buddy boy. That's why I said amphetamine. I mean speed. I mean amphetamine. I got both. Good, my man. Now what can I... Oh. The system's... You see, friend, man makes his own luck. Bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought...
The hook. Where is it? I can't see it.
Permit? Who gives a shit? You want to buy something? See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture. You know, it's funny, actually.
He's finding it difficult.
What?
Keep him talking.
This guy.
Conversation might bring a discount, no?
So what do you...
His tone is aggressive. You're getting on his bad side now.
In the civilized world...
The noxious odor.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Uh-huh.
Abigail is his wife or girlfriend. You're not going to get anything out of this guy. He's too drunk.
Don't call Abigail!
The man hiccups. Then he snorts and beckons you to lean in closer. He waves his hand as if shooing you away, all the while murmuring something indecipherable.
There's no use in yelling.
The drunk man.
Don't you fucking call her! Don't call.
There was little chance he'd be a real.
Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing.
In this yard?
He's assessing the situation.
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a bloc obscur. For cheap. A black bloc. A part of the city left unrenovated after the...
On aerial photos.
Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crap. Yes, for you to pick up as part of the Jamrock shuffle.
It's not meant as nagging.
We should move. I don't think we will solve the murder with foray.
Take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan. There's no way to listen to them, but even just holding the tape makes a pawn shop. A pawn... Take the legal documents out of the envelope. You take the legal documents out of... With a confident flourish, you complete your forgery. Well, indeed, they look distinctly different and very but they're not. And the document will be nullified if they dispute it. That means Everard. All you need to do now is mail the signatures to There was a mail delivery box in the plaza, near the corner of the bookstore.
Yes?
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes, meaning this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power.
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, 10 meters away. Other shades are lined up in an order. Snowflakes fall on the wooden planks and the surrounding sand. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusion. The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a host of men. Probably they stand, ordinary people, the comrades, the forsaken, the wretched. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles, aimed. The commandant, the one who gives the order.
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could even have been the employees of the failed R&D center down the coast.
Or maybe.
Yeah. It's very unlikely the coalition. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in
a cold sea wind.
Go. Nice and easy.
There's a cylinder on the ground.
Who's there?
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Don't worry, Gary. To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the A81. Oh, good. We should...
Did he say we can go?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see...
Sir.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Well, first good question. Being a phasmid of the Order Phantasm, and I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques. It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses, but I cannot describe how these...
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect.
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea, typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated, even simply catching a glimpse of the insect. Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen. Not yet. That's...
Just out of curiosity,
I know it's real.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe, yes, the most recent sighting. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary...
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species.
Yes, Insulindian phasmid. Well, they may not look impressive. Yes. Simple. Attracted by the locusts. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores.
Inside the traps, a number of a meat-eating stick insect. Does it pretend to be the reeds as...
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material.
Not a big fan of skepticism, this one.
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis...
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully...
Yes. What? And I'm eager to return to her. My wife understands that. Just...
Come on, Morel.
And leave the traps?
Come on. She wants us back.
Won't let Lena down. Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the phasmid somehow.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified site, yes. That's how we first came to know what...
Needless to say, you...
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the insulin... No.
He's dead set on... I could go for some trap setting.
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer. Yes, indeed. Both. There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little... Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's...
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this? Extracurricular, even relative to examining a week-old corpse. I'm not sure mucking about.
If you think it's important, you have been...
Bring it to me at once.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll...
That's highly unlikely, officer. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week. Your choice. As I said.
But you feel... Don't mess around. Take the pheromone. It'll make you sexier.
Right. Which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that...
Finally.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down...
If it's more cryptid-related, but what if the information is vital? On the hunt?
I've just always liked animals. And
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
Yes?
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. You don't have a reason to. Nothing. Just a hunch.
Hello, I'm Gary. Yellow Man.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly. And yellow man. Interesting.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with it. I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here. Oh, I've been tempted. But someone has to stay strong for...
He pronounces Revacol with...
I like to pronounce it the hard way. The old way.
He winks at you, trying to relay something. It's a secret rite. A very fringe nationalist handshake.
My mug? Why would you think that? Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone. Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug. You're not going to find me, are you? Okay, I deserve that. I don't know what got into me. Stuffing my garbage.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Nothing. Just answering some questions. Officer, please. Let me explain. I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around. Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into... Okay. I was
Right. It was just civic...
Exactly. That's exactly...
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads, against one another.
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services, CS Munich, so I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn... I'm sorry, okay?
Disgraced. No need for the histrionic, sir.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
What sound? Really? There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. What sound? I haven't the slightest. There's lots of weird stuff out here. Armor? No. I mean, yes.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
Does this mean you were in his apartment, admiring his colonial mug collection? Perhaps it would be interesting to tell him.
I told you everything I know, sir.
Uncomfortable shifting around doesn't make him the killer, though. It's something else.
No. I helped Morel with not many Sealites here, or anywhere.
Do you remember how, when we met Measurehead and I said the next races will be a really good one? Well, this is that racist.
Hey, man. All I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. I'm just stating a... Oh, yes. Of course he is. I was just speaking about his... connections. Not many...
Do you remember how... Well, this is that race.
Hey, man. All I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. No. No problem at all. Sure did.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
Mr. Everard? So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me. I was probably talking too loud in the whirling the other night. I won't do it again. If there's anything...
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door-opening operation.
Always a... I mean, Officer.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together. As if something, yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry. I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want...
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's scared. This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary! What's...
Later, Morale.
No. You've got explaining to do.
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you had...
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Seolite officers commanded the suzerain...
They were thoroughly conservative men. It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this history.
Because I was weak. I should have told...
The hell, Gary?
I'll explain later.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots, but so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore.
This is all he knows.
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinaise? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kitor...
Nice to meet you.
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Graft. Quite tricky, but he wanted...
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is what...
This man is your half-brother. Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician.
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building. What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now...
Hold on. What's R&D?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore. You're probably more familiar with...
Mea culpa. You are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead. It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago, after an aggressive move to Revachol. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Felt had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve? It was here in Martinaise, possibly in this very building. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Which is a feat of engineering, even today's giants. Rehm, IC. Indeed.
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced projects. All of this was built by Feld, even a boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed.
A pleasure wheel?
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer...
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here.
Wait, is he saying that we should just bypass the excesses of the revolution?
Tape computers. They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created community.
A short-lived legislative found...
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book. Already...
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vrede.
Wait, did he just say Wompty Dumpty Dum Center? He did it. He said Wompty Dumpty Dum Center. What the hell is a Wompty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Joost?
The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Art. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to... In fact, I'm not. The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort, and... But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionary... Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All three versions. But of course, what else? I do have some money, yes, but that's not...
No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give...
Of course, Detective. I wouldn't have assumed anything else. Matter of fact, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the Vespertine Department of Justice has published a rather interesting paper. If not, then you definitely should. If not for tips and tricks, then just for theoretical curiosity. Anyway, no, thanks to you for having me in, little Mika.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather... The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick...
No. I won't even try. I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad. Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until...
Please tell me you're not taking that with you. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to have it returned.
It's the ledger you found in the... As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunch. It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach? Good choice. The less you think about that... The smell. It's awful and familiar. It doesn't help. Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. Something cold wakes. It is death. It must be. The lieutenant has already... There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper. In 2 empty bottles of Tallulah. No, there's more in there.
A tragedy.
He shakes his head with genuine... Whoever tossed it here. Red Astra is the black market. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. It's no older than a day or 2. No more. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. A man lies on the boardwalk. His limbs bent and neck turned at, and the smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse.
Hold on. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer.
Another dead body. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into 2.
Good. We should take a look at that library card.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head. A bad fall. It might have been dark outside. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water, height 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly, there's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten. Be very, very careful where you step here. A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of... This is what killed...
I don't see any other major wounds, do you? Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard. You see waves churning below. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole. A .75 liter Tallulah vodka with it.
Tear all around us.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the blackness of death. Stench confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol. I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always
the entire boardwalk creak.
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. But that's just a lazy...
This is an omen. A sign from above. Don't start drinking again.
Well, at least you're not married.
Or what?
But let's try to not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive. No, I don't see anything that points in that direction.
Agreed. If this somehow converged...
Oh yes. Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not... What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the box.
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is, it does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure. From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own. A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death... I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of... Maybe, but we don't really have much time or resources to spare. The guys at processing will take care of the rest. Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call...
The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased, or his whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi. If lost, please return the card to the library.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about...
Good idea. There was plenty of information. A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable. Calling. Still, this feels wrong. End of tone.
Pierre? Is that you, Pierre? So nice of you to find the time to call me. Are you sure you're...
Her voice is drowned in white noise. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi over... Calling. Still again. Someone with a...
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Hello, Gerard. Technically speaking, you're electricity.
No, but I got a feeling I'll kick your ass is gonna make an appearance if you ever call this number again. Have a good one, asshole.
Phone. Disconnect. Tone. Calling. 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 Still calling. Still calling.
Stop calling me, man. I'll get you your money, alright? I just need till tonight. Let me work. Testis.
Disconnect. Calling.
I'm tired.
Sounds like he hasn't talked to anyone in quite a while.
If I could go just 1 month without raiding. No.
The man disappeared. You do not hear the customary disconnect. Seems like it did not have time to swallow the coin. Lucky you. The call went too fast for the payphone to register. You can still make it. You close your eyes and put your index finger on the... Strange. This is not how you started before. You dialed 001. This is not the area code. 005 is Revershop. 414111736. Yes. 451-67451. You have dialed God knows how many numbers. The headset has been waiting silently to relay a signal. Surely nothing can come an ultra-long distance call. Your ear fills with a crackle, the wash of a strange ocean full of white noise. Calling, calling, the saddest calling still. The handset starts slipping from your sweaty palm. Your breathing is heavy. The lieutenant is too far away to hear your yelp. Calling, 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 calling still. Then the ocean breaks.
Hello? Who is this? Dora. Who is...
Dora. The name feels like a gift. In the distorted distance, you hear someone turning next to her. No answer. You're not sure, but you think you hear a man.
No. It's you, isn't it? It's you.
A sigh. She heard you, but she does not hang up. And
You're not a revolutionary, Harry. You're drunk.
you only have 2, maybe 3 things left to say before the change runs out.
Because it's me. Look, I don't understand what you're saying or why you're calling me. You seem drunk. Oh, God. Do you know what time it is? It's so late. It's 4 o'clock, Harry. I need to wake up in 2 hours. Yes, I'm in my rover. Sleeping. What do you want to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
This is bad. You feel your right hand on the handset cramping up with pain.
To work. The academy, where I work.
No response, only a sigh. The connection crackles like burning paper.
Yes.
Your hand isn't moving. The headset hisses in your ear with evil sadness.
No. I want to go to sleep.
She does not answer anymore.
Harry.
Disconnect tone. The machine ran out of money. You dial the number again, in the middle of it, calling, calling. The headset lands.
Yes?
worn by elements, guards the depot.
It's military. A service depot of some... The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. The reeds shake sadly in the coast. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land. From locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
You set the apparatus back on the... A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels.
Oh.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to.
Huh?
Maybe she didn't hear you.
So should you. I don't know, some kind of a store? Maybe a general store? Look, man, fuck the hat.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me. Estelle.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features.
Why? Okay, it's Berger.
A very common name. You have little reason to doubt that's her real name. But she's not all that surprised by this cop show.
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. No, actually just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. The contact mic records sounds from inside things.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike. No idea.
Yeah, I record stuff with it. No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact might just be... The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up,
An entire litany spews forth.
Yes? Same place I got the recorder from, the Palaceum. Oh man, you haven't been to the Palaceum? It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long...
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck, or really be a Palaceum going kind of person. I don't know what that means either. That's cool. Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps?
An entire litany spews forth.
Man, you are one weird cop. What is it with you and this Mike guy? Okay, if it floats your boat, I'll be more like Contact Mike and less like me. I'll keep that in mind. Okay. Recording, I guess. I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think my boyfriend sold them. I don't know, man. Things.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something.
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. I don't really know what I'm doing.
She looks at the recording device. The thing she thought would fill her hours.
Take this, you're called.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that.
It's okay.
Yeah, maybe you were right about the hat. The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid.
And who are these?
Yeah, Andre and the...
And why is that?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. Music stuff, mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. Yep, they were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those. That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I could... Go ahead. It's supposed to become, like, a club, except that... Yeah. You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers, too.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through.
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. Hey, you two are cops. Okay, well... Maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys. Because there are some strange things going on in that... They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Go ahead. Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do. Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the rich people. Rich people are east of the river. Bet they like it that way.
You keep them rich.
The usual. I had a shitty, you know, drinking, getting into fights. The ugly...
Interesting term. Time to glean some knowledge.
Is this a rhetorical question?
Faubourg, not in Faubourg, is a massive banlieue south of Jamrock Quarter. It is the largest ghetto in Revachol, possibly the world.
My dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess, I just wanted to drink too, you know. Get my party on.
She nods very cautiously.
Okay. Hello again.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, Omicron. She looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup. The wind howls. It's real. Tell her.
What is? can't believe this turned into another Mike thing. Fine. Okay.
Something changes between you two. She looks at you different.
So thanks, I guess, for the psych session. Maybe I can return it. What's been eating you, officer? Come on, I can tell. But, okay. What is it? Oh, really? So, the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress? Hello again.
The device is cold to the touch.
Hello again.
The device is cold.
Hello again.
The device is cold to the touch.
Hello again.
The device is still warm. She looks you in the wind. It's real.
What is? I know. I'll stick to it.
Something changes.
So thanks, I guess. Come on, I can tell. What is it? Oh, really? So, the thing that's been eating you is the slow pace of social progress? Okay. So you're not that upset, it sounds like. Uh-huh. And you're sure it's social progress you're distressed about, and not, I don't know, some chick? Okay. Why'd you think that? There you have it then, chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she? Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her? Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you? How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing? Yeah, or it might be that. This one time I did so much booze that I forgot.
It's obvious she's done more than...
Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank. You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich. You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten, though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
A pane of Eternite has been planted into barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger...
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk. The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside,
Come on! Get in and close the flap behind you.
it's safe to assume this is their leader. Or at least...
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead.
I'm actually not, he thinks.
I'm sure you will feel right at home.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tip.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you. This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you.
And Egghead. Egg! Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of us. You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for...
Oh, that's all for...
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered
places...
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues. Ah, so you've met her? Good, good. Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of Malcolm. I'm talking about the church. And I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual...
Dopheads! Burnouts!
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maps.
Strike that!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnout...
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad... Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
Yes, yes. And the worst part is, I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is...
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up.
Thank you, Ed. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the ecclesi... All right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work.
Of course.
All right.
It's as if time has frozen somehow. You think you can sense the key moving in the air. Yeah, blam! Straight in the eye. Straight in the old, a stabbing pain. Tears stream uncontrolled.
Man, I'm super sorry. That was totally...
He looks like he's genuinely sorry he didn't throw them better.
I really am sorry, man. Just...
Wow, looks like there's quite a lot there.
The key?
He is shifting in his spot, uncomfortable.
We were talking about the padlock, I think. Not long, like a week maybe? I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90...
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned...
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I don't know. What does anything...
Oh, yeah.
You're right. It is nonsense. Total garbage.
He nods attentively, ready to...
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. Truth is, I don't really know. Yes.
This machinery is...
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water.
Andre! Oh, and it felt like there...
No!
Which other one? I'm not...
Felt like silence.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone was like you aren't alone.
It wasn't quite you.
Not human. As in a goat.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down. Yeah, you know. The way it was climbing.
It was stalking a cell.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it.
So he hasn't even been in there lately.
You should ask her about it, but be nice.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably Jack. Well, honestly, I can't...
This is a below feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is a...
I'm 70% sure they're substance users. Don't let the Sure. What? Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name...
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know?
I can't give you a precise definition, but they're and they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian Church. Plus, they anoint the innocent. You're totally wrong about that. The Pericarnassian Church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. Love is hot. Unity. Make some noise for my insulin.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the water. Feels good.
Yeah!
He seems ecstatic that you shear.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew. I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you.
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving.
Yes. What? Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. Oh, it's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery.
It does. Told you we have a smell problem. Ether? I don't smell ether. No.
He sniffs the air. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. However, their breathing is regular, their jaws stay put, and their pupils, at least, not under the influence of stimulants. That doesn't rule out.
The what now? Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor, looking to...
I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Yes, that's all Nosefed's doing. Without... Nosefed is the shit. Yes. What?
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
As always. So you had a talk with... It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading. Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align. See? Our signs are way off. I can already tell this so weird stuff. Specialized wires going into water. Gives up...
The People's Republic of Samara is a product of Revachel's sister revolution.
Most of it doesn't exist. But there's also psionic powers, pale... The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to...
It's not easy to reach a harmonic resonance of signs without some adjustment.
Yes, further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve this would be...
A young man with, as though you're supposed to be sheer...
Hardcore! It's hardcore! Skibber-dee, skibber-danger. I am the rearranger.
Your cop training did not prepare you. Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
Hi again. So, he's a quiet man. Mostly communicates through music. You know, a host.
Interesting, sire. A bit...
Well, he's just kinda here. Yeah, sometimes. When I, stumble and find my way into his...
The man smiles mysteriously. I get it. He's a puzzle.
As always...
The young man with...
This is hardcore. Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent.
All-core! All right!
He furrows his brow as...
Hardcore! Ah!
Is it, though? But is it? I mean...
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle of idiocy here. So...
I am the mic enforcer. I am the chicks checker.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
Well, first of all, you're indeed. So one of them came upon the abandoned church. They plus, and it has to be considered, you can't invent the future of dance music in this smelly old...
As always, we'll be right...
gang. So, how are things going?
A number of things don't. How about gather around, kids? The young speed freak puts down the one with the large head. Their would-be leader is less amused.
But you still are!
What happened? I've been trying to say we need the next step in—
Shut it!
What? I have! I've said that!
The young speed, he senses something is wrong.
I have no idea how you arrived at that conclusion, but it—
One speaker. They have one speaker.
What do you mean, friend? It's a one-speaker system. It's monodynamic. You wouldn't know the first—
This may be the brain damage talking, but you've definitely never heard of monodynamic.
What do you know about spinning tape? Nothing. I'm sorry, but there is no lab equipment and no drug ingredients.
He said it was for his nose.
Likely pseudoephedrine. Almost exactly the shape of ephedrine.
He said it was for his nose.
Likely pseudoephedrine. Almost exactly the shape of ephedrine.
And of all cellular-based life, what's your point, Lawbringer?
Make up your mind. First it's the sweat, then it's the ether. No shit. That's... Come on, that's... I meant to say, not true.
We don't need drugs to be hard.
Shut the fuck up, Egg.
Climb down from the equestrian monument, cop man. Conscious.
What exactly is it you know? What do you mean?
There's resignation in his voice. The optimal way to go about this would be indifference. It begins by you telling him you don't care about any of this.
Really?
Or else?
He thinks for a moment, then opens his...
Things are just way too hard for an entrepreneur in this city. It's not like we're not going to turn the church into the wickedest club in East Revachol.
Because we are!
We just got to turn it into a speed lab first.
You know, to get our foot in the door.
Like I told you, spooky arseholes moved in while I was getting all this... No, man. They're spooky, all right.
But the sign was way off.
So? What?
This is it. Judgment time.
We can continue on an amiable path, right? No more misunderstandings, no more lies. He's a quiet man, mostly communicate well, yeah.
The man, I get it. He's...
As always...
The young man with...
This is hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent.
All car!
He furrows.
Hardcore!
Is it though? But is it? I mean...
Feels like you should reply with the very pinnacle of idiocy here, so that things get totally transcendent. But you haven't gotten there yet, so you don't know what...
I am the making for...
shaggy head.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you gonna help? Shoot. I did, and I'm sorry. For what it's worth.
This is why I didn't go into the tent. Typical delinquency.
You don't get to choose your posse, they choose you. Mine are idiots, but they're mine. I tried to talk on.
Indeed. She merely tried to omit the truth instead.
I know, but I knew you'd see through their plan too. I'm not an idiot. I should have. May I ask? What did you tell them? Oh, right. That's wise. Take your time. Oh, that.
She's less prone to blurt it out.
Okay. I went in and I saw her. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know. And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab. He stopped right before he got to the floor. Then just hung there like that. Look.
Like a crab, you say?
It was too dark. I couldn't.
Come on. She obviously could. She already went.
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh.
A crab and a banger?
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw. Why? Nothing. Anyway, what else? My associates? Of course I do.
To the cops.
Me? I'm a silver bird. Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but